Alright, hello. So I just realized that the audio for the last tutorial was absolutely terrible. I realized that the sounds that the units made was just way too loud and yeah, you couldn't really understand anything. So instead I'm just gonna make a way shorter version of the first tutorial. So what is Omen of Blood? Um, well, it's more or less simulation. And what do I mean by that? Um, the purpose of the game is that you're going to have a bunch of units that belong to different factions, and the factions are unfriendly one to another. And the units are going to fight over different points of interest, different territories that are either a spawn point, so a point from where units can spawn, obviously, or a point of interest, I think it's called, that practically just generates gold. And the whole point of this game is that you can take control over any unit you'd like, and you can either start doing quests or you can take control of other lower level units and create your own army. And yeah, it's practically like being a soldier in a large scale army. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the basic mechanics of the game, as well as some, I guess, a short showcase of what some of the more interesting units are able to do. And yeah, all right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hit play. So I really hope the audio isn't crazy loud, because last time this was the culprit. Alright, so let's see. First of all, the basics are you control the camera with WASD and you can use Q and E to zoom. The game looks like crap and the controls aren't any better either. But yeah, I think the game itself is kind of fun. It's not polished at all, but it's a fun little thing to watch. Either way, without further ado, again, I'm gonna go ahead I'm gonna go around the different factions and let you know what each of them do. These guys right here are the dwarves, and the dwarves are a very slow and sturdy faction. They're basically best in short hand combat, they're good in melee, and they're very basic mechanically speaking. Like these guys can use right click to defend and left click to attack, and I believe that their special thing is that when they get hit and they are about to die, so when they get a lethal blow, sorry about that, when they get a lethal blow, they have a chance to counter with a crit. I think that's their special ability. And these guys right here, the guys with white hair, their special ability is that when they perform a killing blow, they stun all the enemies nearby. And then finally we have the Berserker. He's very fast compared to the other units, and every time he hits someone, he's going to slow them down, so he's very useful against casters. And by the way, you can deselect a unit by pressing R. And you can also play as builders, or in this case actually gatherers. And the way you play this is by going around trees and holding left click. And by doing that, you're eventually going to crush the tree and turn it into barks. I can't really seem to be very good at it for some reason. But yeah, there you go. I just broke it and some barks came out. And what happens when you do that is that you get some gold for your faction. And more gold means more units. But yeah, either way. So this is dwarves right here. They also have this unit called the catapult. I mean, fair enough. And what they do, they're very slow and they have a very slow firing rate. But they have very long range and very high damage as well. It's good for AoE attacks. These right here are just a bunch of wolves. They're not very interesting at all. They're just a dumb unit. And for some reason it seems that they took out half of the map. But yeah, the next unit is gonna be the Ogroks, and it's gonna be these guys right here. They're very slow, very tanky, and they hit very hard. They can hit multiple enemies at once with one swoop, and they have a pretty good kickback as well. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the Fogo
Yes,
4 right
my
here.
lord.
It's not especially pretty, but so you can see with these guys, or just get hit by a catapult. But either way, they have two flavors, one of which I can't
Yes, my
really see right
lord.
now because they haven't spawned for some reason. But they also come in the flavor, I guess, of having a tree, of carrying a tree. And by pressing the left mouse click, you can throw the tree at your enemies, and it's a pretty strong ranged attack for multiple enemies. And then I think I'm going to replay this map real quick because the fauna is taking up half of the map, and it's one of the most boring factions there is. So I might as well just show you something more interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and load the Fidget arena map. Wait, let me see real quick. I think this project, yeah. So this is good because it's a smaller map and it's better for deathmatch scenarios. Right, so cool. So now let's go over the other factions as well. This one right here is one of my favorites. Not these guys. These guys are the heroes. They're pretty versatile, but not very interesting mechanically. What I want to show you is these guys. These are the undead, and what they can do, apart from dying, is that they have these little purple clouds that you can see scattered around. And this is something that comes from the necromancers, which is these guys right here that are running away. And what happens with this is when you launch it and it hits someone and it finally kills them, it takes control over them. So every unit you kill with your attack becomes part of your army. And by doing this, you can start controlling rather large armies very quickly. It's very fun to play.
Yes, my lord.
And yeah, the
Yes,
humans
my
are
lord.
pretty
Yes, my
simple.
lord.
The archers are a basic ranged unit. They're very good against casters because of their fast attack speed. All you have to do is just click and he's gonna shoot an
Yes,
arrow
my
there.
lord.
But apart from that, it's not
Yes, my lord.
all
Yes,
too
my
interesting.
lord.
Same goes for the horseback riders and the spearmen. Yeah, what else? Again, with the fauna. I don't know what's going on. Usually wolves are very weak,
Yes,
but
my
for some
lord.
reason it seems that
Yes,
they're
my
very
lord.
strong when
Yes,
I'm
my
making
lord.
these tutorials. But yeah, either way, just before going, I'm going to show you these guys, which are the Arcanists. They're very fun because you can press left click to launch an orb and right click to retrieve it. And I think it's a very fun mechanic to play around with. And the cool thing about it is that the higher your level is, the more orbs you can control. So this one was a level 1 Arcanist. But when you get to level 3, level 4, level 6, whatever, you're going to have 2, 3, 6, however many levels you have in the number of orbs. And you can control each one of them individually. It gets really fun. Other units include this guy that's dead right now. He's just very slow and tanky. And let's see, did I miss anything? We also had some mages around here and some healers. I'm gonna let you discover what these guys do by yourself.
Yes, my lord.
Right, so next off I'm gonna go around
Yes, my lord.
the mechanics of the game.
Yes, my lord.
This should be fairly easy actually. There's a bunch of points on the map
Yes, my lord.
that
Yes,
each
my
faction
lord.
has to conquer. That's the main point of the game, really. And what happens is that if a number of units sits around the point uncontested for long enough, they're going to control it. So in this case, the wolves, which is the fauna, are controlling all the spawn points right here. And they can obviously spawn from them. And as soon as a bunch of units sit around the
Yes, my lord.
spawn point for long enough, without them being contested, they're going to capture it. And the new faction that just captured the point is going to be able to spawn from there. What else?
Yes, my lord.
I think
Yes, my lord.
we can also go over leadership. So each and every unit is going to have a level. For instance, this guy is a level 1 Rodok soldier. And what happens is that the higher level you are, the more you can actually lead. other units. So the way this works, either by killing enemies or by completing quests, which are randomly generated based on what your faction is up to, you gain experience. And
Yes,
the more
my
experience
lord.
you gain, you're going to eventually level up. You can either do that or just explore around, even if you uh, explore unknown areas, so the areas marked in red, you're also going to get
Yes, my
experience.
lord.
And the way this works, I'm going to get my ass kicked. Yeah, I just did. So the way this works is that if you are a higher level than the units around you, you can press left shift and you're going to take control of them. So, for instance, I'm on level 2 archer right
Yes,
now.
my lord.
If I press shift,
Yes, my lord.
if there's any level
Yes,
1 units
my
around me, they're
lord.
going to follow me around and pretty much be my minions, if you'd like. And this works for any other unit that's lower level than I am, that's in the same faction as I am. It's not really going to work for level 2 because most other units are higher than level 2. But, yeah.
Yes, my lord.
And
Yes, my
yeah, that's the
lord.
basic gist of the game. You complete randomly generated quests, you kill enemies, and that's pretty much it. And you lead other
Yes,
units
my lord.
around and try to make your favorite faction win. So right now I'm pressing shift, and these guys are probably gonna follow me around. But yeah, you can also press space, and you're gonna slow down, which is pretty useful as a ranged unit. But yeah. So yeah, probably gonna get my ass kicked here. Yeah. So there you go. This is a short introduction to Omen of Blood. There's a few different things. You can make some map editor stuff in here. You can add some audio or some images, but I'm not gonna get too much into this. One last thing I can show you is these landmarks right here. So if you have a map, a custom map, and you wanna make some custom points of interest, for instance, let's just pretend that this
Yes, my lord.
hole in the middle just looks like crater, right? Let's just call this the Great Crater. And we can select the size as well as the gold. So what this is an amount of gold that gets added to whatever faction happens to own that point every few seconds.
Yes, my lord.
So if we're gonna add this here, you're gonna see like the Great Center is not owned by anyone currently. But if we take any unit, for instance the dwarves, and we go ahead and go over them, there you go. I just own them. And you can see that these guys are going to now try to conquer it and get the gold for themselves. So yeah, that's the basic gist of it. The AI plays most of the game, but you get to choose any one unit and play as that unit. And yeah, you're just one individual in
Yes, my lord.
a world that keeps unfolding in front of your eyes. That's a poetic way of saying it. But yeah, either way,
Yes, my lord.
I hope that the sounds sound alright now and it's not crazy loud as the last time. And yeah, thanks for checking this video out. I'll see you later. See ya.